Hello, hello, welcome. As we trickle in to this space together, this sacred space, I'm so grateful to have you here to support BeLoved Asheville, an organization that is gathering as many resources as possible to support the impacts from Hurricane Helene. They are focusing critical necessities like food, water, healthcare, and winter related items. And I really just wanted to curate this practice for honoring the needs of those people who experienced all the devastation. There was a lot of destruction in the community, and there still is, and it's going to be in repair for a long time too. I trust that. And I will drop here in the chat where donations will be shared. So whatever you donate to this class, it will reach its destination. I'll make sure of it. And that destination is BeLoved Asheville's page. We recently, Rooted Healing Sanctuary just did a fundraiser for Akanda Yoga Institute, which is my yoga lineage, and wanting to support the ancestors that share their wisdom with me. I'm so grateful for that opportunity. But today's mission is to help support the grassroots efforts of this organization, whose focus is on advocacy, human rights, equity, justice, building relationships, creating visible change, and really generating community-led collective action for supporting incidences like what have happened with healing from this disaster. And maybe what we can do together this evening is keep them in our hearts, keep them in our minds and our spirits, as we heal our own bodies and connect to our own bodies in this practice. And so I'll invite you to some music. Here is a beautiful 1 hour healing frequency with an artist, and her voice is so captivating. I have it playing in the background, and I changed the audio settings this time, so I hope you can actually hear some of the audio that's coming through and an undertone. I changed the Zoom to have a musician setting for people who are playing live music, which is interesting. So all that's in the chat: donations, the music to set the tone for this evening. And before we get started, I want to invite you to grab your pillows, grab your blankets, grab your props, bolster, blankets, yoga blocks, all the goodies that you'll need for this evening. This evening's practice is going to have a little bit more momentum than the last practice. We'll be working in the hips and the lower back and the legs. A lot in the hip flexors, a lot in the pelvic bowl, and releasing tension. And part of this practice is to focus on internal healing and directing that energy through ourselves and permeating that energy out into the world so that we can send that healing to Asheville as well. I'm just wanting to name that. Welcome everybody as you trickle in. Thank you so much for being here. Love to see it. Okay, so I'll invite you to meet me in an easy seated Sukhasana. And if you'd like, you can bring in your blanket and tuck your blanket up underneath your sits bones. So that you're seated up a little bit and your hips essentially are falling forward. You'll see like this rotation, or you feel this rotation forward, and it releases the spine to the lower back. And so I'll invite us from this place. Just take a moment and inhale our arms up, bringing your palms together, exhaling, thumbs to chest, pointer fingers to chin, bowing down. Wanting to invite you to take a moment to inhale into this space and to exhale out of this space, while also taking a moment to thank the soul work, lineage, Akanda Yoga, Sri Vishkatu, Nachiv lineage, Pantajali Yoga Sutras, Hatha Yoga, Pratiprika. There's so many people to thank for this wisdom that is arriving in this space. And on your next exhale, I'd like to invite you to lower your hands down to your knees, bringing your pointer finger and your thumb together. And from this place, I'll invite us to 3 Oms and the Akanda Yoga lineage mantra. So I'll teach again this evening, this beautiful mantra. And so finding your breath, inviting you to find your breath, slowly inhaling, filling up. And on your exhale, inhaling, filling up. If it feels safe, inviting you to close your eyes to really feel this. Inhaling. And we begin. Akanda Mandalakaram Vyapatam Yena Chacharam Tatparam Darshitam Yena Tasme Sri Guruve Namaha. Inhaling, bringing your palms together again. Exhaling, bowing down, thumbs to chest, pointer fingers to chin. Again, if you'd like to, allowing your palms to come back down to your thighs or knees, interlacing your pointer finger and thumb together. I'm going to invite us to a pranayama practice before we get into our flow. This is one of the ways that my yoga lineage has been taught to invite us to yoga classes. So just starting with breath. And the breath is in alignment with the rest of the class. So our class will be all lunar phase. And so our breath will be lunar too. And so I'll invite you on your next exhale to exhale all the way out. Slowly inhaling, filling up. And exhaling, sighing to release. Inhaling, filling up. And exhaling, sighing, releasing the breath. Inhaling, filling up. This time maybe scanning your surroundings as you inhale. And exhaling, sighing to release the breath if it feels okay. Closing your eyes and going inward, or finding a drishti on the floor in front of you. Releasing into this practice and letting go. Taking this moment to be here with just yourself. On your sacred island, imagining that your yoga mat is just for you. Nobody else. And the next 35 minutes or so are dedicated just for you. Nobody needs you. This is intentional and sacred in all that it is. And from here, I'd like to invite us on your next inhale to inhale for 4. And pursing your lips as if you're blowing through a straw, exhaling. Inhaling for 4. And pursing your lips to exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inviting you this time to inhale for 5. And pursing your lips to exhale for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 5. And pursing your lips to exhale for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling this time for 6. And pursing your lips to exhale for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, inhaling for 6. And pursing your lips to exhale for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finding a soft and subtle breath. A natural undulation that might feel good for you. So silky smooth, a subtle breath. And I'd like to invite you to a practice of Anuloma Viloma, alternating nostril breathing. And I'll invite you to a mudra, bringing your dominant hand out in front of you. For me, it's my right. Extending your thumb, your pinky, and your ring finger. And on your next inhale, we'll block the right nostril or your dominant nostril, inhaling the opposite side. And then blocking the left side or your non-dominant nostril, exhaling right. Same side, inhaling right. Blocking the right nostril, exhaling left. Inhaling left for 4. Blocking that nostril, exhaling opposite side for 4. Inhaling opposite side for 5. Blocking that nostril with your thumb, exhaling opposite. Inhaling for 5. Blocking that nostril with your pinky and ring finger, exhaling right. Inhaling right for 5. Blocking the right, exhaling left. Inhaling left or opposite side. Blocking that nostril with your pinky and ring finger, exhaling, releasing opposite side. This time inviting you to inhale for 6 on the same side. Utilizing your thumb to block the nostril, exhaling opposite. Inhaling for 6. Blocking with your pinky and ring finger, exhaling right. Inhaling for 6. Blocking this nostril, exhaling opposite side for 6. Inhaling for 6. Blocking this nostril, exhaling opposite side. Inhaling right. Blocking your right nostril, exhaling left. Inviting you to allow your dominant hand to come to a rest and coming back to bring your pointer finger and your thumb to touch. Just taking a moment to be here in this transition, in your soft and subtle breath, inviting you to soften. Just wanted to turn down the music for a moment. And from this soft and subtle breath, inviting you to begin to bring your awareness into your inhale and your awareness in your exhale. Feeling that release in the back of your shoulders, inhaling and letting go. And from this place, I'd like to invite you to begin to welcome movement into your body and to gently soften your gaze to the floor if you have your eyes closed. And bringing your gaze back around the room, drifting it towards the walls, the ceiling, the floor, sort of connecting back into your space, expanding your peripheral awareness. And then removing, if you have anything below you, removing it from underneath of your sits bones. And that is because we're going to get into some Kundalini circles and massaging our pelvic floor. I'm going to come back on my mat a little bit here. Okay. So whatever foot you had in front, let's take a moment to switch. And that essentially allows for a little bit more of an equilibrium experience for your hip flexors. And I'll invite you to ground your palms flat facing down onto your knees. And we'll begin to make circles to the right. Feeling each quadrant of your pelvic floor, your sits bones, your front, your back. You feel all 4 quadrants of your pelvic floor be massaged by your mat below you. With each rotation, inhaling as you come forward, exhaling as you round out. This is a Tantra practice as well. Activating a little bit of energy in the root chakra, the Muladhara. And then I'll invite you to switch directions when you're ready. Inhaling, going towards the left. Or I guess this is the right this time. And the other side was the left. Inhaling and exhaling with each rotation. Finding a rhythm that feels good for you. And inviting you to find stillness. And from this place, inhale our arms up, palms together. And exhaling, bringing the right palm down to the ground on your mat. Dropping the elbow ever so slightly, leaning over to the right. Shifting your gaze up towards the moon, la luna. And breathing into the space in your body, creating length in the left side body. Inhaling and exhaling in the side body. Stretching, lengthening. If you want to, you can provide a rotation in your shoulder, coming back. And allowing your left arm to sweep in front of your body. Bringing your left palm down to the mat on the opposite side, dropping your elbow ever so slightly. Inhaling your right arm up to the moon, bringing your gaze towards your palm, and lengthening that right side body. Inhaling and exhaling into this space. If you want, again, you can bring a lovely rotation into that shoulder, making circles, and then finding stillness again, breathing into this side body. And sweeping your right arm out in front of your body, bringing your right hand to the mat. Inhaling the arms up again. Except for this time, we're interlacing our fingers, pressing down towards our crown of our head, and then pressing out with our palms facing in the opposite direction. Stretching up and taking your gaze towards the back of your hands, lifting up and out through the spine. And on your next exhale, gently stretching over to the left. Inhaling, coming back to center. And exhaling, going over to the right side, leaning a little bit over, lengthening that left side body. Inhaling, coming back to center. And flipping your palms, releasing them from each other's embrace, bringing your hands down to the mat again. And I'd like to invite us to find our way from this place to a straddle. So we'll extend our legs out in front of us, and then taking our legs nice and wide here. If you'd like to, you can invite a supported straddle. So if you remember that from our last practice, you can bring a bolster and some yoga blocks out in front of you. Whatever you might need. There's a way to stack this. Or if you want a deeper stretch in your hip flexors and your legs, essentially you tuck this bolster all the way to your belly if you're utilizing it, or pillows. And we'll inhale our arms up, exhaling, coming forward, either walking your fingertips out in front of you, dropping your chin, letting it hang, or hugging your bolster and resting your left cheek on the bolster. Inhaling and exhaling into this space. You should feel this in the back of your heart, in your lower back, in your legs, your inner thighs, all the way down to your toes. And for me, this is still a little bit too deep. I'm gonna pile up a little bit more. And we're releasing. If you are on your left cheek, I'll invite you to switch to your right. Going to the opposite side, you'll feel that down the back side of your neck. Inhaling and exhaling into the space. Feeling the releasing of the body in this posture. And if you have a bolster or blankets or props or anything, inviting you to gently set it aside for a moment. And if you have your hands out in front of you and you're released over your feet, I'll invite you to slowly walk your hands back up to the middle. And I'll invite you to drop your left elbow over your left thigh. Essentially, we're going to deepen into this. We'll bring our right arm up and over as if our right fingers are reaching for our left toes. Bringing your gaze up towards the moon again and lengthening that right side body. Another way you can do this is bringing your elbow on the inside of your thigh and hand down towards your foot. And you're reaching for your toes. Finding your growth edge here. Inhaling, coming back to center, releasing, and then we'll take it to the other side. Bringing your left elbow on, or your right elbow onto your right thigh, lifting the left arm up, inhaling towards the moon, and reaching over towards our right toes. Inhaling and exhaling into this space in your body. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, coming back to center. And one last time, walking your fingertips out in front of you. Releasing into a forward fold. Inhaling and exhaling into the space, lengthening your back. Maybe shifting from left into right, deepening into the lower back. And walking your fingertips back up to center. This time bringing your feet together. And from here, I'll invite us to gently make circles to the right. And leaning back. Inhaling, coming forward. Leaning back. And switching the opposite direction to the left. Inhaling, coming forward, massaging the pelvic floor again. Inhaling, getting a nice lean, rocking a little bit, and finding stillness in this place. So you're going to be working in those hip flexors again. So I'll invite you to take your hands and interlace them over top of your feet, your toes. Shoulders are rolled back. Spine is lengthened and extended. And I'll invite you to gently, slowly drop your elbows over your thighs, pressing your inner thighs down towards the mat a little bit. And notice that my back is still straight. I'm not rounded forward, but I'm pressing into my thighs, Getting a little bit of lengthening in those hip flexors. This is called a butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. Love that word so much. So we'll inhale here and exhale. Seeing if you can kind of dive a little deeper forward, really lengthening out that lower back. You should really feel that in there, but again, taking it to your own edge. And exhaling, releasing that posture. From here, I'd like to invite us to a tabletop. Coming to all fours, we're gonna get a little active. Just moving some things out of the way. We're here together in tabletop, and I'll invite you to take some gentle or large circles. You can roll to the right, dropping your hips, maybe bringing your shoulders into it a little bit. If you want, you can take the circles really big, dropping your belly nice and deep towards the mat. You can bring your neck into it, rolling your neck and making circles. And then switching the opposite direction, making your circles towards the left. Inhaling as you come forward, exhaling, pressing back. Inhaling and exhaling, finding stillness when you're ready. Bringing your hands underneath of your shoulders, knees are stacked underneath of your hips. Inhaling, bringing your chin up towards the sky, dipping your belly for a cat-cow. Exhaling, rounding out the spine, nice and slow. For me, I'll take a modified version by just lengthening the front part of my body. Exhaling, rounding out the spine. Flattening your feet on the mat. Shoulder like this. Inhaling, chin towards the sky, gaze up towards the moon. Exhaling, rounding out. Inhaling, nice and slow. Exhaling, rounding out. And when you're ready, I'll invite you to press back into your down dog. Gonna make it a little bit more active. Maybe windshield wiping your feet a little bit to the left and to the right. Dropping your shoulders away from your ears. And pedaling out your feet a little bit. This is our first down dog, really wanting to get in the back of those legs. Exhaling, coming forward into your forward plank. And when you're ready, if you want to, coming into a modified plank, dropping down and taking a modified chaturanga. That for me is a pregnant one, or going through your flow to an upward facing dog, and then pressing back from your upward facing dog into a child's pose. And I'd like to show you a supported child's pose this evening. So you'll get your block and your bolster. Coming up onto your knees, sitting back on the bolster, spreading your knees nice and wide if you wanted to wild child's pose. Coming forward onto your forearms and dropping your forehead to your block. And releasing over these supports that we have under your glutes, under your forehead, you want, you can walk your forearms out a little bit. Feel it even deeper. If you don't want the support under your forehead with the block, you can get into a puppy's pose by bringing your chin to the mat. Inhaling and exhaling. Really feeling the breath move into our lower back, into our thighs, into our hip flexors. If you have props inviting you to release your yoga block, dropping your chin to the mat, walking your fingertips out, lengthening your body, and then slowly beginning to walk your hands back up. If you have a bolster underneath of your glutes, releasing the bolster. And then coming back down one more time into a child's pose. Wide-legged child's pose, releasing your chest towards the mat, chin towards the mat, inhaling, coming back up into a tabletop. Walking your knees back in so that they're neutral underneath of your hips. Palms and hands underneath of your shoulders. Shoulders dropped away from your ears. From this tabletop, pressing back into your downward facing dog once again. Inhaling and exhaling, walking your feet out if you need to or would like to. And then coming forward into your plank pose again and taking your chaturanga. Or if you're like me and pregnant, modified on your knees, lowering down and pressing back up, nice and slow. Pressing back into a child's pose, and on your next inhale, bringing your right foot forward towards your palms, stepping your right foot up into a lizard pose. So right foot comes next to right palm. Left knee is dropped towards the mat, or if you want a more active lizard pose, you can bring your knee up off the mat. For me, this is a restorative practice, so I invite you to allow your knee to rest here. Feeling this stretch, this nice deepening stretch into that left hip flexor, that left thigh, the left lower back. If you'd like to, you can provide a gentle rocking the way I am. Feels really good for me right now as I navigate pregnancy. Inhaling and exhaling here. And when you're ready, gently sitting back, extending your toes up towards the moon, slowly walking your heel toe to the middle, and lengthening out that right leg, sort of sitting back on that left foot, releasing the head over the right leg. Inhale, coming forward, stretching out that left hip flexor. Exhaling, heel, toes towards the moon, and releasing over that right leg. Slowly walking your heel a little bit over towards the left hand, and then dropping the right foot over, toes towards the right hand, and feeling that change in the stretch, feeling that change in the right side of the right leg, the outside. This also gets into your sits bones and the outside of your glutes on that right leg. Walking your foot back to the middle, flat, facing down on the mat. Inhaling, forward lunge, modified forward lunge. Exhaling, pressing that foot back. Coming into your tabletop or pressing back into downward facing dog. Inhaling and exhaling in the space. Remembering to find your breath. Coming into your forward plank chaturanga. Upward facing dog. If you're like me, you might modify. Pressing back into child's pose. Exhaling, bringing your left foot forward this time for a left-sided lizard pose. Right knee to the mat, or if you want a more active practice, right knee off the mat. Left foot is by the left hand, and really inviting you to feel that stretch in your right hip flexor this time. This is really great for labor, by the way. If you'd like to, you can roll onto your outside of your left foot and really open up that left hip flexor too. And if you want to deepen, you can bring your hand to your knee and open up that left hip flexor, or you can remain in this lizard posture. Simple, a little less active form. You can rock from left to right here and deepen into this posture, into your right hip flexor, if that feels good for you. I like to have a little bit of movement in my postures. Remain kind of active unless I'm releasing over props. And I'll invite you on your next exhale to gently press that foot back, straightening the left leg, walking and heel-toeing that foot to the middle, and releasing over the left leg, bringing the left toes towards the sky. Forehead to your shin, releasing that hip, inhaling, coming forward, lengthening that right hip flexor, exhaling, pressing back, and releasing over top the left leg. One more time, inhaling, coming forward, and exhaling, releasing. Heel-toeing your foot a little bit over towards the right hand. Exhaling, releasing the toes over towards the left hand, and feeling the shift in that stretch in the left side of the leg into the sits bones and the glutes. Inhaling and exhaling here. Feeling that release in the left leg, and walking your foot back to center. Left foot flat on the mat. Releasing on your exhale, that left foot back. Finding and meeting me in tabletop. Inhaling and exhaling into the space. And when you're ready, taking a wide-legged child's pose and resting, releasing back for a moment. Chin or forehead to the mat. Inhaling and exhaling into the space. Inhaling, coming back up to tabletop, bringing your knees back in so that they're neutral under your hips. And I'd like to invite us to shift to a supported deer pose before we meet in Shavasana. And I'll show you what that supported deer pose looks like. So you will need, if you don't want it, you don't have to be supported. You will need your bolster for this practice. And I'll switch directions. Well, I'll actually stay this way. So we'll bring all of our feet over to the left here, and your glutes will be on the mat. So your left foot is going to be extended out from your left hip, and toes will be facing out towards the left. Your right foot is going to come on the inside of your left thigh. And so essentially your body will look like a 4 or a flying reindeer. And then we will lay back with our legs in that posture. And you can imagine if you're like windshield wiping your knees, that they might fall like this. And if you have the bolster, just allowing your shoulders to fall away, hands to drop open towards the moon, and taking a moment to be here with yourself, slowly inhaling and exhaling. If you're over top of a bolster or pillows, maybe you feel the releasing of your belly, the releasing of your heart to receive. Maybe you can feel this posture in your left leg, particularly your left quad, and your left hip flexor. And if you don't, you can invite a little bit more activity with your right leg pressing into your left leg and deepening. If you can go a little further. But the force of the right leg into the left provides a little bit more of a stretch into that left hip flexor. If you can imagine, they're like stacked but laying side by side. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling the deepening of this posture with every exhale. Finding your breath, finding relaxation and rest. Finding healing in your hips for you to carry for the rest of your journey this week. And I'll invite you on your next exhale to slowly release your right leg and then slowly release your left leg, coming out into Banasana. Stretching your arms out, interlacing your hands, stretching your toes out and your arms out at the same time, lengthening the whole body. Inhaling and exhaling over top of your bolster, lying flat on your mat. And then releasing the arms, flat palms facing down while we get situated on the opposite side. So you bring your right knee up and your left knee, and we'll drop the left knee out to the left, the right knee out to the left. So your feet will be facing the right, at least the soles of your feet. And you'll slowly walk your left foot towards your right thigh, pressing on the right thigh. Imagine if you're windshield wiping, dropping them over to the left. And then flipping, when you're ready, flipping your palms flat facing up towards the moon, out open. And inviting you to surrender to this posture, feeling that in your right hip flexor, really deepening into the right hip flexor. And in addition to that, the socket, the right hip socket, the hip joint, and down your quad, you'll feel this release of tension into this space. Inhaling and exhaling, letting go deeper and deeper into this posture. Feeling if there's any tension in your right hip anywhere, if you're holding on. Let go with each exhale, deeper and deeper, releasing more and more. It's interesting, I can feel this one in my right lower back a little bit too, and I can feel the shift in my hips. It's a little bit tighter on this side for some reason. And I'll invite you, when you're ready, on your next inhale to release the left leg, straightening, and then releasing the right leg, nice and slow and straightening, pointing your toes, extending them out, interlacing your hands together once again, and pressing them out into Banasana, stretching out. Inhaling and exhaling, counter posture for our hips. And when you're ready, I'll invite you to prepare for a Shavasana, a corpse pose. If you want to, you can remain over top of your bolster here, or you can release the bolster and lie flat on your back. If you want, you can bring your feet together into Supta Baddha Konasana, or extend them out in front of you. Whatever feels good for you. You can bring a blanket and cover your eyes, or if you have an eye pillow, to cover your eyes. Finding a place in your body that feels comfortable, that feels like home, that feels like peace and surrender and rest for this evening. Just taking a moment for you. Taking a moment to honor this practice. Taking a moment to appreciate yourself, to appreciate this beautiful life, to appreciate all of the yoga teachers and the wisdom masters that have granted us this wisdom to carry into our healing our bodies together this evening. I'm taking a moment to thank my baby and my belly. For those of you who are pregnant, taking a moment to be with your baby. Just lovingly tuning into your essence, into your being. Maybe your intention was to heal your body tonight. Maybe your intention was to just show up on your mat for you. Maybe it was to share reciprocity with BeLoved Asheville. There's no right or wrong way to be here. Just feeling yourself release deeper and deeper into your Shavasana. Letting go with every exhale. Slowly inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Following my voice as you get heavier and heavier on the mat in your sacred island, your safe space that is just for you. So nourishing, soul nourishing, divine, supportive, invite you on your next inhale to invite some gentle movement into your fingertips and your toes. Maybe stretching your wrists and your ankles, inviting some movement in your hips, your neck, making circles with whatever you want and need to. Tending to your body in ways that feel good for you. And inviting you to either roll to your left or to your right, bringing your palm flat facing down on the mat, and slowly pressing back up. If you would like to, you can flutter your eyes open or remain eyes closed, wherever you're at in your practice. And slowly coming back up into an easy seated Sukhasana, meeting me here. Meeting me here on the mat with you. And the baby. And when you're ready, inviting you to slowly inhale your arms up, palms together, pressing down, palms to chest, pointer fingers to your chin, thumbs to chest, pointer fingers to chin, bowing down lovingly. In this practice with me, in this life with me, in this sacred teaching with me, I'm so grateful to have you all here. Thank you so much for being here with me and joining me in this beautiful practice. You're so loved, so, so loved. Thank you. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you find some rest and ease in whatever that is for you tonight. Some sleep. Thank you all for being here. And I will see you on the mat next month. Bye-bye.